Welcome back, everybody. It is the Popper J, and I am back with another Pioneer deck tech. The other ones are doing fairly well for my channel, so here we go. This is Boros Burn. This is not my own list. This is actually the list that has popped up on MTG Goldfish's site when you go see the Popper meta, not Popper Pioneer meta, and there is Mono Red Aggro, and then there's this Boros Burn deck. Although it only says Burn at the top, I already suggested a better name. I feel like this deck honestly seems really cool because Boros Burn is already a thing in Modern, and it has some of the cards you'd want from that, such as Eidolon of the Great Revel and Ghitu Lavarunner almost acting as, Goblin Guide. But you also have to settle for shocks instead of lightning bolts. You get Boros Charm, which is a very good card. Uh, Rampaging Ferocidon, freaking, that's just amazing. So yeah, I'm gonna go through it one by one. Ghitu Lavarunner, this is our makeshift Goblin Guide. It's a 1 mana 1/2, but as long as there are 2 more instant sorcery cards in your graveyard, it is a Goblin Guide basically, but it doesn't hurt you when it swings, or it doesn't get them the card. Monastery Swiftspear, this is a really good card. A 1 mana 1/2 haste and prowess, so it's going to be a good turn 1 play, a good turn 2 play. It just is really good for getting that little bit of damage in. You're probably going to get, if it stays on the board, 4 damage out of this. It's pretty good. Soul-Scar Mage, 1 mana, 1/2 prowess again, but if a source you control would deal non-combat damage to a creature an opponent controls, put that many negative no encounters on that creature instead. So this is going to help us. Not only does it have prowess, which is going to make it a really good 1-drop, because you shock them or you shock something, now it's a 1 mana 2/2 for the turn. It gets you extra value in that aspect. But also, when you are killing the creatures, let's say you pass the turn with this on the board, and they drop a 4/4, and you have 2 shocks, but you only have 1 mana up. You can shock on their turn, put 2 negative known counters on it, and then shock again on your turn, and you'll be able to kill it. It's really good. It also makes the creatures just not very threatening. I like it a lot. Eidolon of the Great Revel, whenever a player casts a spell with converted mana cost 3 or less, it deals 2 damage to that player. So this, although it hurts us, it is most likely going to hurt the opponent a lot more in the late game. Since Fatal Push is legal in this format, it literally is going to make them shock themselves in order to Fatal Push this Eidolon, and that is basically a 2-for-1 because you get a shock and to discard a card in their hand. It's just really good. And Rampaging Ferocidon again. This card is busted, and I am very happy with it. Like, a 3 mana 3/3 with Menace. Players can't gain life, and whenever another creature enters the battlefield, it deals damage to that creature's controller. So yes, this does hurt us as well, like the Eidolon does, and our Shocklands and stuff like that. But on top of that, it hurts our opponent way more, the fact that they can't gain life. And there's a lot of life gain in this format. Like vampires, there's a mono black vampire list. There's life gain in that deck. So, and they have life drain, so it's gonna make them kill themselves really quick. But it's also going to ping them. It's just amazing. Like I said, shock before. It's a worse lightning bolt, but it is the best lightning bolt we have in the format. Basically, Boros Charm deals 4 damage to a target player or permanent you control gain indestructible until end of turn, or target creature gains double strike until end of turn. The double strike actually isn't that relevant due to the fact that our biggest powered creature is the Rampaging Ferocidon, and it's only going to make it deal another 3 damage, while Boros Charm already deals 4 damage. So the double strike doesn't mean that much. Unless you're trying to get first strike to something to kill a creature, that actually is relevant if you got to think about that. Lightning Strike, basically another bad lightning bolt. Searing Blood is really good, so it can do 2 damage to target creature. When that creature dies this turn, it deals 3 damage to that creature's controller. Another quote-unquote 2-for-1. It's like shocking that creature, then bolting them for only 1 card. Light Up the Stage. This card is very good in the deck because you are going to run out of cards really quickly with, look how many 1-drops are in the deck. That's a lot of 1-drops, so yeah, we need Light Up the Stage. Wizard's Lightning is funny because this is also, I guess, our best bolt in the format, but it's awkward. So our wizards are Ghitu Lavarunner and Soul-Scar Mage, and that is it. So there's only 7 wizards. So sometimes the Wizard's Lightning is literally 3 mana for 3 damage, but when it's good, it's good. When it's bad, it's bad. Smuggler's Copter, they have a one of it in here. I don't know if they were just testing it out, but I think one of is fine. You have a lot of creatures with power one anyways, so when it if you start getting lands in your hand, because this deck only runs 20 lands, so you should be okay anyways. But let's say you have a specifically land heavy hand, you can start discarding them away to start drawing your cards. It has flying, it's a 3/3, but you have to crew it. It's just overall pretty good. But also the good part about it is if let's say they kill all your normal creatures, when you go to play like that Ghitu Lavarunner when it's supposed to be bad, if you have a Smuggler's Copter out, you just get to be able to tap it and power up the Smuggler's Copter and able to get in for that extra 3 damage from flying. It's pretty evasive. It can allow us to get through board stalls. I like it. Lands, we got Battlefield's Forge. So this can either tap for a colorless, which you aren't going to be doing that often because there's a lot of red in the deck, or you can tap it for a red or the white and it deal 1 damage to you. This deck hurts itself a lot. Inspiring Vantage. This card is basically everything we want in a land because it will always enter the battlefield untapped as long as we're really going to need it because we're not ever really going to want to get to 4 mana anyways. Like that's just bad. 5 mountains. This is mostly red deck. Ramunap Ruins, a 3 of. So this is basically a lot like Battlefield 4, except it can't tap for white, and instead you change that for the fact that if you pay 4 and tap it, so this is basically costing 5 mana to the tap itself. It deals 2 damage to each opponent. It's a rough card. It can cost you games due to the fact that get the red, you have to start paying some life, and sometimes you're not even get that damage out. It was a real madhouse in standard though. And then Sacred Foundry enters the battlefield. You may pay 2 life. If you don't, it enters the battlefield tapped. Just because although the deck only has one white card in it right now, when we get to the sideboard, we're really going to need a lot of that white, like Chained to the Rocks. So this is basically our bad path to exile. It's sorcery speed, and it can only be played when you have mountains. So that's the other good part about having Sacred Foundries is the fact that they're both mountains and plains. So, but it exiles them until it leaves the battlefield. Abrade, so this is our artifact destruction, and it can also just help us kill creatures depending on what we need in the matchup. Deflecting Palm is fun because they can go ahead and if they're swinging with big creatures, you can use this just to freaking pound them right in the face. It's a really good card in my opinion. It's really nice to have it in the format. Fry from M20 is already going to be a sideboard staple for red. Can't be countered and it deals 5 damage to target planeswalker that's white or blue. So this kills the Okos, this kills the Teferis, this kills flipped Jaces. This kills a lot in the format, so it's just nice to have it because planeswalkers are getting really broken as farther we get into Magic, honestly. Rest in Peace, also another good card that is illegal in the format. This is just a really good graveyard hate for the white decks. Yep, that's all I can say there. Skullcrack, players can't gain life this turn. It isn't like we don't have it already covered with Rampaging Ferocidon, but then damage can be prevented this turn, and it deals 3 damage to target player. So there's an argument. There's an argument for it in the main board. Like, hey, maybe like if you have to go low on like 2 Lava Runners or stuff, you don't like these guys that much. You have something else you want to play. You try to ditch the Wizard's Lightning. You probably go with Skullcrack maybe. Another Rampaging Ferocidon. I like if you're going up against life gain, these are going to hurt them real bad. Like it's gonna be insane playing a life gain deck and not be able to play gain life. And last but not least, we have Hazoret the Fervent as a 1 of in the sideboard. A 4 mana, 5/4 indestructible haste. I don't know what it's in the sideboard for, but it's here. I think they're because everyone's testing out the format anyways. This is what they recommend. But indestructible, haste, and it can't attack and block unless you have 1 or fewer cards in hand. And it can pay 3 to discard a card. It deals 2 damage to each opponent. So it can activate itself. It's a really good top deck. That's but the issue is it's also 4 mana, so you're not ever gonna like if it was in the main board, you would find it stuck in your hand a lot. So it's a good card. It's definitely a good card. It was really good in standard at the time, and it was amazing. So yeah. But this has been the Popper J MTG. If you are new to the channel or you haven't subscribed yet, I ask you to subscribe because it makes me feel good about the fact that I spend 10 minutes a day or 10 minutes a week or something like that making videos. And I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.